Hey everyone, Roy here with another video, and I couldn't wait to get on and make my video today for YouTube because this might become a thing. This might be a thing where I get on and I play my game and I talk to you guys because I had a lot of fun the last couple of days and I think I'm going to keep doing it. And man, do I have some subjects that I want to talk about today. So there's a couple of them. So for one, there's couple experiences that I've had with Bank of America that I wanted to share with you guys. For two, there's something that you got to have in order to actually be successful online. And if you're going to be making money online for a very long period of time, you're going to have this thing. Um, and for three, taxes. It's tax season, and I got some interesting stuff about that I want to talk about too. But before I get into that, if you're new, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm. And subscribe. Excuse me. And when you subscribe, go down to the comments and write, I subscribed, so that I can show you my appreciation. Um, and let's get started. Oh, it's updating. Okay. So today, I'm going to start out. I'm in the new zone again. I've been slowly playing that and having fun with that in the evenings. But I'm going to bomb over somewhere where I can just farm, so I don't really have to think about what I'm doing, and I can talk to you guys. Now, the first thing that I wanted to talk about, and well, let's see, where do we want to go today? Let's go over to, how about the Anaran Plains? I like going to the Anaran Plains. We'll just skin some stuff, get some points for our professions, and have some fun there. But anyways, the first thing, so there's one thing that you got to have when you start, getting out there online, when you start busting past that terror barrier and being scared of trying something new and learning the skills that are required to actually go out and do stuff online. And that's thick skin, because you're going to have uninformed people that are going to watch, say, a 5-second video or one of your other pieces of content. They're going to take their own personal opinion based on where they're at in life, which, trust me, is probably not a very good place, right? And then they're going to spout some crap back to you. They're going to tell you that what you're doing is all kinds of, negativity. They're just going to spout negative crap about what you're doing, what you're promoting, whatever it is that you're trying to do, and how it won't work, and how it's a scam, and how it's this, and how it's that, when they haven't even taken the time to research and seen that, the company you're promoting is a good company, been around for a long time, and has a, really good rating with the Better Business Bureau. None of that really matters. They don't actually take the time to go to your website, to check anything out, to actually see what it is that you're doing, to have an informed opinion. They just come on and spout crap out. And you got to realize first, one thing, it's not a reflection on you or what you're doing, especially if you're, an honorable person that spent the time to make sure that what you're doing is not a scam, is not going to hurt other people, is actually helpful, is actually has products that is needed and useful, and can help your fellow man. And you actually have, quite a few team members and students that you yourself have helped that are making better changes and things in their life and are improving things, and all that stuff aside, it's not a reflection on you and all of that you already know, right? It's really a reflection on them and where they're at in their life. So you gotta take it with a grain of salt, right? You gotta have that thick skin, and you gotta be able to, you gotta be able to not let that bother you. And that's one thing that you gotta have. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is taxes. Now, I'm not a tax professional. I'm not accountant. This is not financial advice, right? I have to say that because I'm not all those things. But I've been doing my own taxes since I was 18. I go on anymore nowadays. I mean, TurboTax is so great. It goes on and it calculates things for you. It reads PDFs for you. How if you have a W-2, it pulls that from your company already for you. It's so easy, right? You can go on and do your own return in less than an hour. Now, when you start having your own business, like an online business, which if you treat an online business, even if it's just an affiliate marketing ship, if you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business, and it'll actually give you tax breaks like a business. And again, not financial advice. So, and that's what I do. I have a legitimate online business. I'm an affiliate marketer, so I don't have the overhead of products and employees and all that stuff. Ooh, what's this purple thing? That I got to worry about. Let's check this out. Oh, look at that. More supplies. All right. And let's just say since I make money online from home and I supplement my own income with it, I'm not necessarily in a tax bracket to where I actually get a tax return anymore. As a matter of fact, I typically will end up having to pay taxes. But um, once you get to the point where you're actually able to add in your business expenses, you get a lot of tax breaks. You get a lot. Now, I haven't gone so far as to set up an LLC and all that stuff yet, which you have even more when you do that. And coincidentally, through Savings Highway Global, if you are at the $200 a month level, you have access to free tax preparation, to an attorney, to all the business needs that you're going to want, the tools and resources, um, to where you can actually do that without it being very expensive. Again, I haven't just put the time into doing that yet because I'm doing pretty good and I like what I do. But I do my own tax and my own thing, and I just do the self-employed and go off of that, which again, I know I can get more tax breaks if I have the other things in place, EIN and all that. But anyways, I went from, owing thousands of dollars worth of taxes to actually getting a little bit of a refund. It's not huge, but hey, not having to pay taxes, more than you already are is great. And it's all because I have, tax breaks from business expenses. And this year I actually cut my business expenses down quite a bit. And then now I'm looking to the point where I might actually have to start spending a little bit more on my business so that I can have more tax breaks next year. Because when you actually have a business expense, when you're paying for like advertising or buying educational materials, books, courses, and stuff online, things like that, which granted you don't need to with my program. I give training away for free and show you everything you need to do. Literally, the only cost is just the cost of membership to the savings company, which is anywhere from $20 to $200 a month. And then the only other cost from that, which is kind of a, your maintenance cost, is just the cost of a website you're going to use to forward your link. And that's like $30 a year. So really, your cost is like nothing. Nothing. Anything else I've ever done online, hell of a lot more expensive than this. And like I said, my expenses have come way down because making content like this that's free, making short form videos and whatnot actually produces more of a result than even a lot of the paid traffic that I was doing. So I'm actually looking at other things that actually better myself and my business, like more training, more things to help me with YouTube, maybe some paid tools like a paid version of vidIQ, that kind of stuff that is actually a business expense that's going to help me in the long run because I get a tax break on it. Maybe put a sticker on my car and use my car for advertising, and then be able to claim those things. But there's lots of different tax breaks that you get just from the fact that you have an online business. And even if you're, like I said, even if you're just an affiliate marketer and you're just advertising for another company, which is what I do, and you earn a commission when they make a sale because they do all the selling and telling. I'm not really even selling, I'm just sharing stuff with people, and then I make a commission, right? And if you want to know what the pay structure is like, what it's capable of, what you can actually earn, then there's a playlist here on my channel that goes into what the different levels are from gold, platinum, and titanium, which that's the name of the different levels, right? Gold is $20 a month, platinum is $100 a month, and titanium is $200 a month. And you can go watch those videos, and it goes into detail of how you make money and how much is possible to be made, which is pretty astronomical. I mean, you can get to where it's like with $7.9 million a month or something like that. It's pretty insane. But anyways, and that's it. Really, what I wanted to talk about for the taxes is just how incredible it is that, just doing something online. Like, let's just pull another example, right? Like a portion of what I do is a YouTube channel. So let's just say all you're doing is a YouTube channel, and you go buy a camera or some lighting or even a better computer that you're going to use. All of a sudden you have some more tax breaks. You can claim all those expenses if you save the receipts as business expenses, which is going to help your overall income. It actually takes it and deducts it straight from your income. You have an expense that's for a business expense. It deducts that from your taxable income. Now you owe less taxes. It's pretty incredible. Um, and now, you're using up a space in your home or somewhere where you're going to be recording these videos, right? So then you can also claim your home, as a business expense. Your power bill, your internet bill, your phone bill, all these things can actually end up being a business expense for you that's deductible. It deducts it right off of what your taxable income is. So it's well worth it to start something online. It's incredible how you do that. But anyways, I've gone enough about that. Now I want to talk about the other thing, which is my Bank of America. Now, Bank of America is literally like the most convoluted, chopped up, unorganized company that I've ever worked with, like hands down. And let me explain. So, like I said, I just got a new camper trailer, and of course I financed it. I like having a good credit and all that. And of course I'm going to pay it off well before the dues. I'm not going to be making no minimum payments or anything like that. But they did set it up as an auto loan, which is already a little bit weird, right? You'd imagine that if you're buying an RV, that they have like an RV loan that they set up for you. But no, it's an auto loan. Maybe that's just the way things are, and I'm naive because it's my first camper trailer. But they set it up as an auto loan, and when they give you the information to go set up your account online, then I got this email and it says, great, thanks for creating your online account, and make sure you save your username, keep it in a place where you're going to remember it, and we're going to physically send you a piece of snail mail that's going to arrive in 3 to 5 business days with your temporary password. Like, really? Like, in today's world, 2023, you're going to physically mail me a piece of paper from a dead tree with my temporary password, and not just email me something like that, or set it up to where the first time I log in I have to change it. I mean, what kind of technology are these guys even running, So, okay. Alright. So I didn't think much about it. That was like back on the 20th. And then yesterday I get the actual bill in the mail, like the statement of my account, and I still don't have access to the online account to set it up or pay it. And it's like, I don't even have a checkbook. I can't even, I mean, I know how to write checks. I'm that old, right? But I can't remember the last time I actually sat down and wrote a check. And I know that my bank, any bank nowadays, you can actually go in and set up bill pay, and they'll write the check for you, right? And mail it out on your behalf. But, like, really? Again, in today's world, today's economy, today's technology, we're relying on such old stuff. And this is a bank. Any other bank I've ever worked with has been, a lot more technology. Anyways, so again, I didn't have access to the account yet, hadn't set anything up. So I pulled up the original email, right? The original email that says, hey, thanks for setting up your online account. We're going to send you this thing in the mail. And it had a number on it. And it said, hey, for questions, comments, concerns, help, whatever, there's a customer service line. Great. So I calling that number because of previous experience, which maybe I'll be able to tell you depending on if I have time today or not. I know that it's really hard to get the right number to the right person, to the right freaking department within this dang company, Bank of America, right? So I call this number. And the person there is, after they hear what I have to say, like I'm just trying to get it on my online account, I have this loan, then they say, well, we're not the group that can help you. Shocker, right? No, not Bank of America. Really, the number you called is not the person that can help you, even if it's right from your email that says, if you need help, call this number. Okay, so they give me another number to call. I call that number, and it's to a loan department of some sort within Bank of America, and they say, oh, well, this is for an auto loan. I'm like, yeah, I mentioned that. Well, this is the wrong department, so we're going to transfer you. Okay, so they transfer me. I tell my story again to this person in this loan department, and they're like, I can't help you because this is an auto loan. I'm like, where the hell did they even send me? They're like, oh, this is home loans. I'm like, okay, all right, well, can you send me to the auto loan people then so that I can get access to my auto loan that's for my trailer? Sure. So they transfer me yet again. And this person, by this time I'm getting a little frustrated, right? And I'm starting off the phone call with like, listen, buddy, if you're not the person that can help me with an existing auto loan and help me get into my dang online account that I already created, which I just need a temporary password or whatever so that I can log in and change it to my password for the first time, right? Because it's the original setup. I still haven't even been into the dang thing. If you can't help me with that, then can you please transfer me right now? And he's like, yeah, you got the wrong department because this is for new auto loans and you have an existing auto loan. And I'm like, I've been telling this to everybody already. And he's like, but I promise you this will be your last transfer. And I believe this was like my fourth or fifth transfer at this time. So then they transfer me again. And by this time, you know, they tell you where they're from. I've literally been all over the nation now with different parts of Bank of America, right? Just to get into my dang online account. And the lady that finally gets me transferred, yes, she's the right person. Yes, she can get me in. She spends like 5 minutes on the phone, gets me into my account, and I'm able to go off on the races. Now, even though I got onto the online account and I gave my wife the access to it and everything, it still takes her like another hour and a half to set up automatic payments because, again, I don't know what technology Bank of America uses, but they literally don't have shit figured out. Like, they're back in almost pen and pencil, like printed out paper. It's like working with the freaking government on stuff. And even the government nowadays has better technology on some things, right? Oh my goodness. Anyways, so that's literally everything I had to go through just to sign on for the first time on an account with a new loan with Bank of America. Now, I've had lots of different loans, lots of different accounts that literally seconds, right? You create the account as long as you know your social security number or your EIN number or your phone number in some cases. They can look you up, they can set you up, you get into your online account in seconds, and then you can do all kinds of stuff. You can attach other accounts, you can transfer things, you can set up payments, you can do automatic payments. A lot of places prefer automatic payments and paperless. Nope, not Bank of America. It was extremely hard to get all this stuff done. So then today they asked me for a review, right? They wanted me to do a survey. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I'm going to spend some time on this survey. So I told my whole story. And I noticed because of my experience in the corporate world that the type of survey that they sent me was an NPS survey, Net Promoter Score survey. It's based on one question: how likely are you to recommend this product to a family friend or colleague? And everything else is predicated off of that question, and anything, you know, lower than a 9 or a 10 is considered a failing grade. Now, one thing I did actually like, I'm going to say something that I actually did like about Bank of America, shocker, right? One thing I did actually like is they had two NPS surveys. One was based on the employee that helped me, and it had their name on every question. And then they had the exact same questions again repeated for Bank of America. Now, of course, the lady that actually did end up helping me, none of this was her fault. She's just doing her job. She was incredibly helpful. She had to put up with me, which I'm sure that, you know, these customer service reps at Bank of America, they have to put up with a lot of angry people with how convoluted this place is. And you know, their job is not easy. So, of course, I gave her good numbers. She did everything that I wanted her to do. She stayed on the line with me, made sure that I got into my account, made sure I was taken care of. And that's great, you know. But then when it goes to the Bank of America part, I didn't give them any good scores at all. So I'm hoping that goes to some sort of management level so they can actually see and maybe actually do something to help other people so they don't have to go through everything that I went through. Because there's a lot of people with anxiety and whatnot that don't have the patience to be able to sit there and explain their story over and over to different people in different departments before they finally get the right person, if they even do, because I have another experience where I still haven't even gotten the right person and they still haven't been able to help me again with Bank of America. Oh my goodness. Anyways, now my other experience with Bank of America, I have a prepaid card, right, from a company that pays me money, and they pay me money through this Bank of America prepaid card. And okay, you know, that's kind of nice. Most prepaid cards, even if you go to like Walmart, right, and you buy a prepaid card, you can use it just pretty much like your bank prepaid card. It's the Visa, You can set it up online. You can set it up to apps. You can trade crypto with it if you wanted to, right? You can make Amazon purchases. You can hook a bank account to it most of the time. I would say 99% of the time. You can go online. They have an online account for it. You can hook your bank account to it if you have one, and you can send or transfer money or load it even from this bank account. So it really becomes like an extension of your portfolio, if you will, of your money. And not so with Bank of America. Not so. Um, this prepaid card, you can't hook a bank account to it. You can't use it online. You can't use it for any apps. It says Visa on it, but that doesn't matter because, I mean, they probably paid the money for Visa to be able to put Visa on there or be able to use the Visa platform to do the swiping, right? But that's about it. You can't use this thing for anything other than literal point-of-sale purchases. Heck, half the time it's even hard to buy gas with the dang thing, or pulling cash off. And pulling cash off isn't easy either. You have to go to like a Bank of America ATM, which again, Bank of America doesn't even own or service their own ATMs or have access to anything for it, which is what I'm getting into. Now, when you go to an ATM and an ATM charges you a fee, you'll notice that every time an ATM charges you a fee, that there's a pop-up that says, hey, we're charging you a fee. Do you agree to this fee and whatnot before you complete the transaction, right? Not so, not so. So I've been going to this particular ATM at a particular, the only Bank of America branch in my little town where I live in Arizona. And it's never been a problem. I've been going there for years. I've been pulling cash off. So that I can then transport it to my bank, since they don't allow you to hook a bank account to your freaking prepaid card. And I pull cash off. Well, and it's never charged me a fee because it's Bank of America, right? And this is payments for me for providing a service, and I don't want to have to pay fees because that's just pulling money away from me and my family. So I want to find a way so that I don't have to pay fees. So it's great that I can use a Bank of America ATM to actually pull cash off. Well, the other day, we go get cash off my Bank of America card, right? And it says insufficient funds. The amount that we typed in. You have to do it in $20 increments, right? Because it's an ATM. But it says insufficient funds. And then double check the balance. No, it's not insufficient funds. Try it again. Nope, it says insufficient funds. And it like pulls the money out, and then it puts the money right back in. It's the weirdest thing. So then I'm like, okay, let's try a lower amount. So we try a lower amount. That went through. Didn't think much of it until I went to go check the balance like an hour or so later, and the balance was lower than I expected. Now, granted, there was no pop-up. There was nothing. No indication that there was any kind of fee. Nothing. Just went through like it normally goes through, other than it was just a lower amount. Okay, so I'm like, this is a lower balance when I'm checking my balance than what I expected, right? What I knew was already there because I had checked my balance. I knew exactly how much I could pull off, and it wouldn't let me, so I did a lower balance, and then what's left on the card is lower than what I expected. So I go into the transactions. Sure enough, there's like a $2 freaking fee that it didn't ask me if I was okay with, that it didn't alert me that what was being charged. So there was some sort of glitch with the ATM. All right. So I call Bank of America customer service, and just like my previous experience, the first person couldn't help me. All they could do is put in what they called an official complaint. Okay, so then they tell me you need to drive to the physical location where this bank is and talk to them and tell them their ATM, charged you a fee and you need help with that. I'm like, all right, that sort of makes sense. I mean, I guess, even though you're corporate, that you can't, access that for security reasons, whatever. I'll go to the bank. So I go to the bank and I talk to the teller, wait in line, talk to the teller. The teller told me they can't help me, so then I talk to a manager. Manager's like, yeah, we don't have access. We don't service the ATM. We can't even see your transactions, any of that kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, well, who does service it? So she gives me a number to yet another department, shocker, within Bank of America, that is supposed to be the prepaid dispute department. I'm like, okay, well, that actually makes some sort of sense, right? It's a prepaid card, and I want to do a dispute because I don't believe I should have been charged, this fee, especially since I've been going to this particular ATM. Never changed it for a long time, and it's never charged me a fee before. And I want to know, has something changed? Am I going to be getting fees now? Do I need to find out another way that's already stupid complicated to get my money? or what? And so I call this account, or this number, and the guy was very, very helpful, right? He did everything he could, but which was nothing, right? He really couldn't do nothing. He could do another official complaint, but he couldn't actually help me with this phantom fee. He's like, you know, I can dispute lots of different things. I can dispute, like, if you didn't get your product, or, you know, the payment didn't get through, or somebody just, you know, all kinds of different scenarios. But there's no actual way or button for me to push to actually dispute a fee. And again, he didn't have access to the ATM or any way to refund me for this fee, or even figure out why I got charged, or where the fee was even going. And he really tried, right? He said somebody within Bank of America is going to get back with me, which I kind of doubt that. And even if they did, they're probably the wrong person, right? But he sent up another official complaint. I'm like, well, where do these official complaints even go, right? I'm sure there's a lot of them. Do they do any good? Does anybody even read them? Does anybody follow up? Does anybody even care, you know, at this point? And he's like, well, I will make sure somebody follows up with you. And I'm like, well, what about the other official complaint that already got put in? He's like, well, I'm going to include that. He actually was able to go to the system. It took him a minute. It wasn't easy, right? I don't envy these people that have to work with the convoluted freaking systems that Bank of America has. And he was able to find the other official complaint, and he did include that for me. But again, I still have this phantom fee that I haven't been reimbursed for, or anything that's going to be done on it. As far as I know, it's still just out there. The other thing that he had to suggest, he's like, all right, drive back to the physical location again, and this time look on the ATM. There should be a number on the outside of the ATM for who services it, and they should be able to help you. So again, that's my next path of action, is to go try that. I don't really have the warm and fuzzies that I'm ever going to get this fee reversed or taken care of, or even understand why it charged me when it doesn't normally charge me. But anyways, that's my Bank of America story that I wanted to share with you guys. And I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me in the Yunnaran Plains and letting me ramble on while I kill and skin things. And hope you have a beautiful day. And we'll see you on the next video.